Hello, 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 hello. It's Kate Bolt, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Hold on a second. Here we go. Let's do this. Hello, hello, hello. It's Kate Bolt, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the UK. I'm back for another Coffee and Cards Live. Welcome. I just need to check that I'm live in the right place. I didn't have my other device set up to check because for some reason I cannot see comments again. And also why I'm a little bit late with my stream today is because I've come in to use the software and it had forgotten all of my settings from last week when I was live. So, we have to reset it up, and I need to learn from this and try it earlier, I think, because it doesn't like to remember everything. But it looks like I'm live. Let's have a little look. Yes, it looks like I'm live, but for some reason I cannot see the comments. Now it does this sometimes. I'm just going to check into the settings, see what it tells me. Doesn't tell me anything. How strange. I don't know, but you're right, so I do have somebody watching, so thank you for joining me live. And all I can say is I have got my other device set up so I can see comments anyway, and hopefully respond to them as we go along. How are you? I have got my coffee. It's getting a little bit cold. I've got my coffee ready for my coffee and cards. I hope you have a coffee or a drink for your for watching Coffee and Cards today. I thought I would play with a brand new bundle that has come in the new September to December mini catalogue. I call it the Christmas catalogue, but it's full of all sorts of wintry, autumn, fall, Halloween, Thanksgiving, all of those kind of products in there. But this time of the year, I'm starting to think about Christmas. Not as in like, oh, I need to go buy Christmas presents and all of that. It's far too early, but I do start thinking about my Christmas crafting and my cards. And it's so nice to be able to craft and make cards in advance and get them all ready. So I thought I'd play with this suite with you. And it's the first time I've opened it, and I've kind of made a little card ready for today, and then we'll see where it takes us. So if you are joining me live, please stop by and say hello. Tell me where you're from. We have had the most outrageous, blisteringly hot weather for September over the last week. We had, like, in the UK, 7 days of 30+ degrees. I mean, that's outrageous. We should be dipping into the sort of 12 to 14s, which we were the week before, proper autumn. But the weather has actually broken and is absolutely throwing it down with rain outside my window. And it was about 20 degrees when I went out for a walk this morning. Autumn is here. Let me know what it's doing with you. Right, I'm going to swap over to my desk view. Oh, you've just seen my spectacles. And then we'll have a look and see what we're going to play with. So, still have my coffee. Here we go. We have got this lovely stamp set called the Joy of Noel. It's part of a whole suite, which is absolutely gorgeous. I'll show you why it caught my eye. I like to choose a couple of bundles to make all of my Christmas cards with because, we don't need every stamp set for our Christmas cards, although as the season goes on, I do get very tempted. I know I'm not the only one, but I'll show you why this one grabbed my eye. Here it is. Now, I think it's part of one of those kind of big suites called the Joy of Noel bundle. I'll show you some of the images in the catalogue because you'll see then why I was attracted to it. So it has all this beautiful foliage. It has these Noel letters. But what really got me was this die here. You can cut these letters out, which means then you can have them any way you like on your card, and you can do them in gold, you can do them any way you like. Just beautiful. I absolutely love it. So when I haven't got the little embellishments out. I'll need to do that. When I ordered the whole suite, I ordered not the whole suite because I ordered the bundle. Oh, this is one of those mega bundles. I ordered the stamp set and the dies bundle. I did not order this bundle because I was ordering other ones, but now I need it because I've got this one. The font is the same and they coordinate. I definitely need the Christmas Classics bundle. I've seen so many gorgeous things created with this, and it goes with this. So this is going on my order now, and I think it's going to be part of my class this month, this whole suite. I ordered these gorgeous little sequins. You get loads in there. There's like 550 of them in red, gold and shaded spruce, and they're holly and berries and little musical notes. I ordered this gorgeous Speciality Designer Series paper. It's got all the musical notes on. It's so beautiful. It's foiled. It's all foiled in gold, and they're 12 by 12. And I ordered these. These were glorious, absolutely glorious papers. A pack of 12 by 12 patterned papers. The only thing I didn't order was this ribbon. Now I already have a black and white gingham from the annual catalogue, which is why I didn't order it. But when I've run out, I might order this one and give it a go because, look, someone has used it to colour it in to match their project with the Stampin' Blends markers. It's beautiful. And so here, yeah, here's some of the gorgeous projects. Now I started a Pinterest board today, my Joy of Noel creations. So yeah, you could check that out on Pinterest. It gives you loads of inspiration and ideas. But look how cute these are. This is the stamp set I've got out on my desk. This is the Christmas Classic stamp set that I need to purchase. And I love how this font all matches. It's another one, yeah. So that font all matches that one. It's just, I think it's really versatile, super versatile. So I'm going to be getting that other one, but I'll show you what I'm going to make today. We're just going to have a bit of a play with it, get to grips with the stamp set, and then the Wiltshire Oyster. I often just get a stamp set out and play with it for a while before I decide what my favourite thing to do is. So today was my first play. Now if you are live with me, please say hello. I cannot see any comments on here. None at all. It's not giving me anything. So I don't know. I know I've got a couple of you watching. I don't have any chat. So please somebody put thumbs up in the chat, or just say hi or something like that, please, because that would let me know that all that is working. This is my sample card that I made to play with today. Very easy and simple to make, and I'm still kind of playing with it. And this is the basis of my idea, and I will show you how I made this. Okay, this is my first one. I might make slightly different colours and do it slightly differently. So, I've got the stamp set. Show you the dies. Now if you buy the dies and the stamp together, you get 10% off in my online shop. So there we go. And I'll show you. So there's the Noel that we'll be using. These large outline dies, they cut out from the stamp set. There's some holly, 1, 2, 3 holly leaves. We've got holly berries. We've got one to cut out the sprig with the berries. This really super useful fern die. And then this one, I love this. I use this on my cards to cut out little sprigs of foliage. And it's one die and you get 5 sprigs of foliage. So you just run it through your machine once, you've got 5, which is great. Always easier. So I'm going to start off with my card base. Let me grab some white card. So I have it all ready and I put it somewhere. Why do I do that? Oh, you know where I put it? I sat on it. How ridiculous. Can you come up a bit? There we go. I don't know if that's better or worse. Let's go with that. Okay, we'll go with that. Tell me how that is, if you can see well enough. I'm just getting used to my setup again. I haven't used streaming software very much, and for a long time I was just using my hands, but the streaming software means we can use hands and face, but it means a completely different setup. The entire surrounding of my area is a tripod, so it's a little bit different. I have a piece of thick basic white cardstock. I cut it in half at 10.5 and I use the other half for my other card. And this piece, I'm now going to score it at 14.8 and use it as the base for this card as well. So there we go. And then I'll show you the papers. Gorgeous papers. Feels very weird not having any chat on the line. These are stunning. These are the designer series papers that come in this week. These are just the regular ones, and they are called Joy of Christmas. And the colours inside are cherry cobbler, old olive, pecan pie, pebbled path, real red, and shaded spruce. So it's foliage. It's all the Christmas foliage in lots of greens and reds. Look how beautiful. But on the back, we've got that lovely note, musical note image again. And then we've got like a wood grain. How pretty is it? It's like a watercolour. We've got a nice gingham check, which kind of goes with that ribbon. And then this is the brown wood grain. The two of each design. This is the one I used earlier. And then this one, which is really pretty. I might use this one. I've got a different idea. I think I'll go with that one. Red check. More musical notes, the slightly smaller ones. That's gorgeous. Look at that. I think that's real red. And that's actually got foliage on the back. And I think that's all of those. But I'm thinking I might use this one. So I used this one earlier. And I'm going to go for this one. I'm definitely going to be using this whole suite for my September cards. Quite excited. Like that. Right, so when I have a piece of 12 by 12, if I'm going to use it for cards, to make cards, I will cut strips off at 10 centimetres. And you're going to get 6 card fronts from each piece if you did it that way. So I'm going to cut my first one off at 10, and then I kind of leave the rest whole in case I don't want to use it for cards and I can use it for something else. Gives me all versatility. I know lots of people who make cards using DSP, designer series paper. They cut all their card fronts out and store them because they're more likely to use it up. I like to leave as much of mine whole as I can, so it gives me more. I could use it for a bag or a box or whatever. It's really odd that I can't see any messages. Oh, Shaz! Hello, Shaz. Thank you for joining me, my lovely. I am glad you are here because I'm starting to feel like Billy No Mates. Yeah. So this was, I'm actually going to cut it slightly smaller, but the reason I cut it at 10 means that the bottom half I can keep it at 10 for another card. So I'm going to cut it at 9.5 in a minute. So this end, it needs to be 13.3 because that's the dimensions to fit on my layers. So 13.3 centimetres. Keep that bit for later, my next card. I'm going to make this one 9.5. Gives me this little ½ centimetre strip. Now I can, because it's not a directional pattern, I can pop that on the inside of my card or on the envelope if I want. So let's put that there. So I've got my piece. Now it's quite a bit smaller than my white, but there's a reason for that. Is that right? No, it needs to be 9, I think, not 9.5. I didn't do my maths. Yeah, I've got another bit now. One on the envelope and one on the bottom of the card inside. Right, there you go. Now I have an even border all the way around. Yeah, Shaz, I don't have a fan on in the room. Thank you for commenting. It is an issue. The streaming software going through my laptop makes that noise. Streaming software doesn't. It makes my laptop go on overdrive and work hard. and every time I do it, it turns the fan on the computer, which means and also the audio is coming through there, which is a bit of a nuisance, isn't it? I'm going to have to play around with the settings for the audio, because I think I could possibly put the audio through the camera, and that might slightly reduce the noise of the fan, but I don't think I can do it now. Let's have a go. No, it just gives me desktop audio. Yeah, it doesn't. Maybe. Desktop audio 2, what's that? No, it only gives me, it doesn't give me any choices, so I think we'll have to stick with what we've got. But maybe in between now and next time, I'm going to see, I've noticed this as well. I actually went to look at some other people who do this kind of thing, and I can hear theirs as well, but not as loud as mine. So I think it is a thing, but I do need to reduce it, because it's quite annoying. I find it annoying, you find it very annoying. Right, so the other piece I'm going to use now with this is some other paper. Right, I decided to pull out not the speciality series paper in this suite, because it has pattern on it. I wanted some of this. Look at this. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? It is distressed gold 12 by 12 speciality series paper. This is really good. If you want some of this, I have checked, it's low inventory at the minute, so I would grab it while it's there. You only get 2 sheets in a pack, but it's really luxurious. It's absolutely beautiful. You only need to use a tiny bit, and it's only about £4. £4 something, which is why you only get 2 in there. Which I think is perfect. If you buy this big patch, you don't necessarily use it all. So I did the same earlier, and I cut out a piece of my strip at 10, and this is what I had left of my strip. Look, I'll show you. So here it is. This is my big piece of paper, and then I cut the piece off that I used earlier, and that's what I've got. So I've got loads of it left. So this one needs to be 10 by 14.8. No, 14.3. For this to have a nice border, a decent one. Yeah, nice. I have a whole centimetre border around it. Okay, so I've got a little strip there. I'm going to keep that bit. That's all I've got left from that long strip I took off the side. And then what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to gut it. Now, if you have lots of gold paper and you don't mind just using it up, glue your layers together. That's absolutely fine. If you want to be really economical with it, you can gut it, which is what I'm going to do here. Just so I can show you how it's done more than anything else. So I know that I need a good 1 centimetre border on the edge, not cut into that. So, and I also want it to overlap so I can glue it down properly. So I'm going to leave a 2 centimetre gap on all 4 edges. So if I go up to 2 centimetres on my trimmer, and I have got, I think these are inches, so on the outside, so 2 centimetres is like 3/4 of an inch. So somewhere or thereabouts, but I'm going to leave a bit of an extra gap because that doesn't really matter. I am going to, where this bit lines up here, you've got measurements along here. I am just going to bring it down a little bit, not all the way to the bottom. I'm not worrying too much about the measurements as long as I leave a big gap, because I'm measuring it up here. So 2 centimetres. And then I can definitely match it up afterwards. So all 4 corners Seems to work, please. But guess what I'm going to have for Christmas, guys? I'm going to have a new laptop. Which I'm hoping, because this one's very ancient, so I'm hoping it will help these little technical issues. Okay, so I'm just going to take this out. I'm not too worried if it leaves a little bit, because I'm going to cover that up. And this piece I can use to cut all my embellishments and things out with, so you're saving, no waste. Much less waste. So this is what we mean by gutting. If you take the guts out of it, it's not always the best option because sometimes it can interfere with the integrity of your card. So a very tiny bit, all this would be a lot less stable because you wouldn't have as much paper. Does that make sense? I've left a really good border around it. So I'm going to start to do my gluing together. So beautiful already. Isn't it a great gold, Shaz? I know it's going to be. Well, we've been thinking about getting me a new one for a long time. And whilst my other one is still working, that's great, but it is very ancient. And also, what you don't want is it just to conk out and you lose everything. So we know the time is coming. So we thought Christmas would be great, wouldn't it? So I'm going to stick this down, and the reason I'm using Tombow is because I want to get my borders around the outside even, and it gives me that little bit of movie aroundiness. That's a technical word, movie aroundiness. Oh, gives me a little bit of wriggle room, they say, but you know what I mean. I can move it around just for a few seconds. If you leave it much longer than that, there's no way you'll move it. Tombow is amazingly good. Right, I'm going to put this straight on top. How are you, Shaz? How's life with you, my lovely? I hope you're well. How's the farm? And what's going on the farm at this time of the year? I find it fascinating. You see, this is not even, so I've still got like a second or two to move it before it completely is stuck. There we go. That's much better. Right, so we've got that on there now. So we're going to do some stamping. Now, I've got a piece of white card here. I'm going to use my stamping. I'm going to grab out the big Noel. It says one stamp for Noel. So you can stamp, if you're stamping straight onto white card, you get it like that. Which is what I'm going to do. But I'm going to cut my letters out so that my words won't work today. I can move the letters around. Right, I'm going to go for cherry cobbler. I was considering let's heat emboss it for fun. Let's just do it. Let's do it. Right, so I've got all my bits for heat embossing. I keep it all in the tray. It's so much easier. This is the heat say anything. The heat embossing additions kit. Is that right? It is. I think it's called something like that. You get the tray, and you get the tweezers. You get the embossing buddy, which is super useful. And you get a brush. So, okay. Let's just stamp them on. Hopefully it will come out well. Yeah, I really need that fan of the laptop to stop. I forgot to use my embossing buddy. There was me, whilst I was doing it, saying, oh, you get an embossing buddy. And I wasn't actually using it. Stop it. But I don't really need it for this image, thankfully. So I've got gold embossing powder here. I might just do that one more time and see how we get on, and use my buddy because it's not very crisp. Using the buddy really helps with a nice crisp image because you've got no kind of oily marks on your paper from your fingers or anything like that. Okay. Also, I kind of felt the stamp slip, so we'll see. Let's hope it's nice and crisp. Yeah, so as I said, I'm using the gold embossing powder from the, I think it's the basics, the metallic ones. Yeah, that's not bad. It's much crisper than the other one. And then I'm getting to the end of this pot of gold. Pot of gold. I'm at the end of the pot of gold. Right, I can tip it back in. It's so useful. I had one of these from a crafting show like 20 years ago or something. Never seen one again since. So when Stampin' Up brought this one out, I was like, yes, please. Really good. I'm not making an amazing job of it, but we'll go for it. I think that will do. Some days it's great, and some days things aren't so great. We know that. Yeah, so there we go. And I like this little bit in the end. Stops all the fine little bits going all over your table. Okay, so we've got that. I just need my heat tool to heat it up. Right, it's going to be a bit noisy. I still haven't found my other heat gun. I think it is down the back of my table. My Stampin' Up one. Actually, there is. There is. Funny little thing. What's that? Well, I use the tweezers and then I won't do it myself. Love these things. So I'll heat it up and see it change colour. Hooray! I haven't got the picture-in-picture on after all anyway. I'll put that on in a second. Watch that go. Whoa! Oh my gosh, it's like magic, isn't it? It never fails to impress, does it? I love it. I get impressed. I'm easily pleased. Look at how shiny it is. It's so nice. Right, we're going to let that set for a moment before I start putting dyes on top of it, because I need it to be properly kind of dry. So, actually, whilst I'm at it, the other thing I'm going to do is put that to the side. Let's grab another bit of white card. Don't do with the bit of card. Here it is. You can see that I've been cutting out. I'm going to take the cherry cobbler, because we've got cherry cobbler and real red in these papers. I'm going to take the word joyous on the stamp set and stamp that down there. Oh, come on. Bright red. Oh, that is joyous. The whole thing is joyous. My dog is asleep on my foot, so I'm not sure if I can move. Oh no, he's moving. We're good. We're good. I'm not pinned after all. But the state of my chamois, and if I put it in the washing machine, it still comes out exactly the same, so don't worry about that. It's meant to be like that. It's meant to take the ink off your stamp, like that, and keep it on the chamois. Right, so I've got my joyous. And put this to the side. And I think I can now cut these out with the dies. There we go. So pop the die on like that. And where's my washi? There it is. I always use a bit of washi. I have loads of washi hanging around. I've had in my craft room for years. This one says, be a mermaid. I have no idea where I got it from. I've got tons of the stuff, but I just use it. I use washi tape for decorating envelopes, but mostly for holding my dies in place. What do you use it for? It's perfect for that. I'm going to use a little tiny bit on the top and the bottom so it doesn't move. And I'm going to pop it through my die cutting machine behind me. You see where I was playing earlier, I was stamping the Noel out in some different colours. So cherry cobbler, old olive, and this is shaded spruce. And that's what I was doing. So it comes out really well, doesn't it? It's amazing. It's very pleasing to stamp. Right, so there's the N. I'm going to get rid of this piece of card out of the way because I've got all this loose. Where's my E gone? Did I just drop it? It's probably on the machine. Oh, it's not. Where have you gone? So N, O, here it is, it fell over there. Eat that. Die back away. Use that. Okay, so we've got Noel. So I'm thinking that because it's in gold, that will pop and it will kind of coordinate with the distressed gold paper we've got behind. We've got Noel, like that. And then we're going to go in with the joyous. It's joyous. Joyous. Right. I'm going to sit here now instead of standing up. And I can say hello. Hello. Can you see me? Oh, have you just seen the new exclusive papers that have been launched? Yeah, we've got some online exclusives. Is there 5 or 6 of them? 5 of them, I want to say, and some of them are Christmassy and some of them are not. Yeah, they're lovely, and they were launched this month because we were due to, not due, they had planned, you know, we do our planning at Stampin' Up for like 2 years ahead. They had planned to have a second celebration originally, and they were going to be in there. But then they took a different direction, and we're not having a second celebration this year. So they would have been in there. That's why they've just released them for us to purchase so we can get them. You had your son's wedding. Oh, I think I saw on Facebook, Shaz. It looked amazing. Oh, congratulations. How exciting. Mother of the groom. Did you have a hat? Oh, hello, we've got somebody else watching. Hello, welcome. Did you have a hat for the wedding? I know hats aren't necessarily the thing these days, but it's just one of the things I'm fascinated by. My daughter got engaged a couple of weeks ago, so we're very wedding focused in the house. We're very excited. And I'm thinking hats. I love a hat. I love a hat. It looks beautiful. And they're thinking of an August wedding, possibly. They haven't really decided. It all depends on venues and everything, doesn't it? So I'm sure it all get decided. So I am just using my snips and cutting this joyous out. If you do want to cut the joyous out like this, just cut around it with in a rectangle instead. I'm a bit of a fan of cutting out. I use the term fussy cutting because people understand what that is, but it makes it sound really annoying. I don't think it's annoying. I love a bit of fussy cutting. Just got to be careful I don't cut any of the bits of the letters off. Now, the reason I am not leaving it in a big block of white card is because I want it to sit, I'm going to try and get it to sit next to or on top of my Noel letters. And I don't want it to completely obscure the word Noel, otherwise it would just, when you glance at it, you wouldn't know what it said. It would be annoying. A large hat. Fantastic, Shaz. I love a hat. When I was younger, it's a fun fact about me. When I was younger, I used to wear hats all the time. Like, you know, not just baseball caps. I'd wear a hat in the winter, not a beanie, a hat, like a cloche or, you know, for fashion. I mean, what we're talking about, I'm old. I'm really old, guys. So we're probably talking about, I think I was wearing a hat the first time I met my husband. So this is like the late 80s, early 90s. I suppose everyone wore hats in those days, didn't they? It's not such a thing these days. I stopped wearing hats a long time ago, but I love it. Maybe I should do it in the winter. I used to wear hats a lot. That's the end of doing that. And that's probably about all I want to do too. I enjoy it, but there's enough. Right. So we've got joyous. So I'm going to hopefully try and stick them over the top. Now I'm going to show you the other card. I really like this. I raised those letters up using mini foam sticky dimensionals. I'm not sure. I'll try and do it with this one because I think it does add. I think it's worth doing it. I think it adds to the dimension of the card. But it does take a few minutes to get them all on because even with the mini ones, which are super, super useful, you really need to cut them up. I'm looking for them now. There they are, staring me in the face. There we go. So even with these little ones, so let's do the Noel. Do you know, when I say Noel, I just want to sing the Christmas carol. You, for one thing, wouldn't want to hear me singing, I'm telling you. And for two, we wouldn't want any weird copyright stuff going on YouTube. Not that they'd probably recognise what I was singing. So we've got that, but then of course you want to do this piece here, this little end of the owl. So these little ones, even though they're small, chop them up. And they're so useful because if it was a big one, you'd have to chop up off more than half. So that will do. I might put the other little bit on the other bit. Keep it nice and raised. Yeah, I like it sticking up in the air. Hi, Cohibo. Hats as a fashion, yeah. So Shaz, I know what you mean about being behind. I have not been making many Christmas cards yet, but this is my thing now. I'm like, it feels like the weather's changed and it's time. I don't know if you feel the same way. I don't feel behind actually. I just feel like now is time. So which I'm getting really excited about doing the Christmas cards. So which is your, if you could go into the catalogue and buy any of the sweets from the new Christmas one, which would be your favourite? Can you think of them? I've got this one, got the berry one. Oh, which other one? I've got another one. Or if not a suite, just a bundle or a stamp set. There's some really cute standalone stamp sets. What would be your favourite? I'd like to know. It's really interesting to know what people go for. There's one, I think it's called, is it Oh Bethlehem or Oh Holy Night? I can't remember. Oh Holy Night? That I was not drawn to. And then at this team event I went to on Sunday, one of the ladies had done an inspiration table. I have never seen anything like the things that she made. It was outrageous. And I completely want it all. She was amazing with her stuff. So I'm quite after that one. Oops, stuck to the finger. Go. Noel. See what I mean about it being a bit of a faff to do it on a video, because it's not really a faff if you're crafting at home, but people really don't want to watch hours of you sticking foam pads on things. So don't forget the fast forward button if you're watching on replay, because it might get a bit dull watching you stick the letters down. Let's move that one over slightly. There we go. Oh, so yeah, it was our weekend event, and I took some of, oh, you got the Oh Holy Night suite, did you, Shaz? Oh, that's amazing. Honestly, it was absolutely gorgeous with things. I'm very tempted. I'm sure I'll go right in my basket. You've just done all the artwork and the invites for the wedding and you're taking a break. Oh, how many things did you have to make, Shaz? And I'll bet you never want to stamp again. Oh no. Honestly. I am not volunteering to do that because I don't trust my, I don't know, I've never really done wedding invitations or anything. So to start off with my daughter's wedding would be a bit distress. I don't know. I'd have to just make some things up to see if she liked them to start with, but I'd love to see what you made. I bet it was amazing. So this one does not want to stick on, but we're getting to the end, sticking on of the letters. So if I had stuck this down flat, we'd have finished the card by now, but never mind. I want it all inside, so I'm going to move that over again. There we go. There. Noel. And that, oh, how pretty and shiny is that? Oh, that is lovely. I really like that a lot. So we've got joyous to go on there. Now, you see if I stick the joyous over the top, you know that it says Noel, but it kind of obscures it a little bit. So I think I'm going to pop it here. But before I do it, I am going to cut some other bits out that are going to go on there. So I don't know if you could see on this one, I cut those little sprigs out of the gold. I don't know if it will focus. I'll do that now and I'll show you how I do it. So with that bit that you had left over from gutting the card, you can use this one. I might actually go a bit further this time and use, oh, I can pull it off. I've not used this die and it's stuck down hard, that one. Okay, and this piece that you cut out from the middle can be used for all your embellishments, so you're not having to cut any more out. I have got a piece that I used to make my one earlier, and I'm going to use that to start with. You did 200 invites with 3 layers, all the cards, menus and vinyl display boards, and you'd never made them before, and your advice is do not offer. Absolutely, I think you're right. Somebody approached me a couple of years ago and asked me if I would do them for them, their daughter, and I mocked up a kind of, I mocked something up. I don't know if it's Save the Date or it was beautiful. It was one that had the magnolia suite in, and using all that petal pink. It was gorgeous, and it turned out beautifully, and she loved it. But then I realised the enormity of the situation, and I was like, this is a huge amount of work and a huge amount of pressure. And this is someone's really special day. What if I mess it up? So I didn't do that. She loved it, but she quite understood. I think if you're, if you're going to a printer, fine. If you're asking somebody to make every single one bespoke, handmade, that is just pressure. And if it's your child, oh, Shaz, I take my hat off to you, because you've got all the other wedding things to think about too. Right, here's the little gold pieces coming out. Can you see that? So this is nice because you get 5, just pass it through the machine one time. Stampin' Up are very clever. Gone are the days when you had to pass a tiny die through 5 times. Lovely. So that's that one. I'll try and show it you. Look how beautiful it is. That's going to go on there. And there's no weird end. It looks like each end seems to be a bit of a leaf, so you could kind of put it in either way. And then I'm going to do a couple of these. Now, can I fit that bit on there? Probably not. But I'll use this other piece that I've cut out, and I'm going to cut some of those out. I'm just going to see what it might look like. It may not work. One. That is cool, isn't it? Let's see what that one looks like. It might just be a bit too much gold. I'm going to leave that to the side and think about it. Right, the other thing I did earlier is find the stamp set was when I was creating this card, I couldn't decide how it was going to go, and I stamped this one out and coloured it in, and I thought I would use it on the front, and then I changed my mind. But I also stamped this out and cut it out a few times. Let me see. Do I have that sprig to hand? Yeah. Here it is. So it's really pretty, and I might use it, well, I will use it on another card. So I stamped it, and I used the Stampin' blends. And of course, the dies cut their stamped image out, and I used Shaded Spruce and Old Olive, which are the colours in here. I mean, it may go in this one, but I think it might just be a bit too much. Well, I don't know, that might work actually. It works better on the camera than it does. It might just be a bit much. So I think I'm going to leave it without, because I think it's all a bit too much. I'm going to put that on another card. I'm going to put the Joyous on before I do anything else. And what I did was I put a little bit of glue, a bit of Tombow, on the bottom of the Descenders. Just pop it on there so you can still work out that it says Joyous. Sorry, Noel. And then I'm going to put a little bit of a sticky foam pad under the rest of it. Yeah, I'm not very, I have enough stress. Well, we all do, don't we? To be worrying about making all the wedding things. That piece has been sat there and it doesn't want to stick on. Let's take it off, it's not stuck on yet. Put it on the back. There we go, that will anchor it down nicely. Joyous Noel. Yeah, I think this is all a bit unbalanced, like me. So I'm going to take these little sprigs and put some tiny dots of glue on them. But what I might do is stamp inside the card with some of those stamps. I have an idea for my next card if you're still with me. So I'm just going to make like, it's not a wreath, but I'm going to go around the Noel with these little gold sprigs. Oh, I love that. It's quite pretty with the gold. It's also just kind of traditional Christmassy colours, isn't it? Red, gold and green. Oh, and I must get out those little sequins. So what I did earlier was I stamped a couple of these and coloured them in. So stamped it in shaded spruce, coloured it in with cherry cobbler for the berries, and die cut it with the dies. And I thought we could just pop it in there. I have another one. I didn't die cut this one very well. I'm not sure if I even want to bother with it, but put them together. That might work. So let's colour those in. Dark cherry cobbler, Stampin' blends. Takes a second. Or you could cut out the berries from with the die if you wanted. Add some card. Pop it on. Or you could leave them white and they could be mistletoe. It's a bit of glue. Was it a traditional wedding, Shaz? We'll cover up where I didn't die cut it very accurately with the other one. I think the dog's dreaming. Joyous Noel. So that's that. Now, I've got to find the sequins that come with this sweet. Give me a second and I will see if I can find them. I had them the other day. Really? we go. Now this is really cute. I love these. I'm going to get in a mess with them. You know what's happening because I've already got glue all over my fingers. But these are called the loose holly gems and sequins. But look how many there are. How glorious are these? Now that's very much a shaded spruce, isn't it? So I'm not sure it's going to work because a lot of this is more old olive. But it might do. Now I've got my technical tool out. Where's the other end? It's fallen off. Here it is. It's got interchangeable ends, these tools. They're amazing. If you don't have one, you need one. Oh look, we could have used these gems. Here. That's amazing. I love that. Maybe I should do that. Shall I? It's going to be a... Have I got any putty on this end? I don't use it very often. I should do. Ooh. No, I think that one's completely empty. I've got another refill somewhere. Let's take these out. Right, I'm going to make a mix. I don't know if I would, because am I going to put them on all of them? And then, what am I dropping? Oh, are they tiny ones? Are they different colour sizes? Oh, there's tiny ones, weeny ones. Oh, beautiful! I love that. Yeah, I think I'm just going to put some on. So I think that would work. You could cover them all up. I think that's going to look really pretty, and maybe one up there as well. To town with it. I'm using the big ones. There's obviously different sizes. I can see them now. I'm not sure. I think it's all right. So I'm going to go for it. I'm going to put some on. I'm not sure if I'm going to put all of those on. Let's take that one off. Yeah, I'm going to use those. Where is my glue? So I just want a tiny dot. So I didn't need to colour all those in. If I'd planned it, I wouldn't have coloured them in. Yeah. I've left them as they were. Oh, I'm on a ball. Although, if you colour them in quickly with your lens and you don't, you haven't decided the placement of your gems, at least they're all red then, and you can decide when you come to it if you want them all covered or just a few, and then you've got the others are red. If that makes sense. So I think I'm going to go with this. And then if I want to put any more on, I'm going to come back to it and have a look. So I might cover them all. Perfect. All the pretty things. I love the colours of this suite. So I've got Joy Of Noel. So all I need to do now inside is stamp inside. So I'm going to put the other nice stamp that's in this set. It says Making Spirits Bright. This is really useful if you want to make tags too, so it's got the to and from there. It's also got like a knit I always think this is like knitting. I don't know what it's meant to be. I think it's knitting. Somebody tell me if it's not meant to be like a texture of like yarn. I have to plug my computer in too. It was fully charged. See, that's how hard it works. Let's do that before we lose you. I have taken a long time today. I have been here actually about an hour. Oh, some of that patty's popped out. I must have had some in there. Stuff with blood. Sorry, acrylic blocks make a horrible sound. New stamp. And I'm going to stamp it with cherry copper. That's the colour we've been using. I love that everything matches. I haven't used this stamp before, so let's go for it. Oh, no. You know when you get a brand new stamp and it bubbles because it's got that kind of surface on it, you know, when it's just been manufactured. You need it to stamp really crispy. Sometimes you need to just stamp it a few times or get a pencil rubber on it, that works. Or you Versamark on it, that helps. Right, that's a bit better. That piece of card, that looks like a lot of waste, but it has some very dirty marks on it. It's sat in my scrap drawer, so I'm not too concerned. I've just done that. Okay. Making spirits bright. Oh, look at that. Not too bad. Not brilliant, but not too bad. I'm going with it. I'm going to go with it because... And then I'm not going to stamp the foliage on the inside. I'm going to use what I've made. And I'm going to pop that there, I think. Or maybe pop it here. That'll be nice. I'm going to do that. I'll show you how I'm going to do that. A bit of glue on it. Not all the way because most of it's popping off the back of the card. I'm going to bring it on. I need to be able to say to whomsoever it was meant to be for, and then write the rest down there. So I've done that. And then turn it over and take your waste off the back, up the side, with the snips. And then make sure your card closes. Gone a bit too far at the top, but there you go. How pretty is that? Now I could have stamped straight onto here, but if I'd have done that and then coloured in with my blends, they're alcohol blend markers and they will bleed through to the other side. If you want to do stamping on inside, add another little layer so that it doesn't bleed. That's my top tip. I hope you've enjoyed it. I don't think I'm going to make another card with you this afternoon. I think this was taking quite a long time, considering it's a fairly simple card, but I will show you the other one. And then I'll come back again next week and I'll make some more with you. I am determined to make lots with this week. I'm absolutely besotted with it. It's so beautiful. I'd love to get one of these through the post for Christmas. It's really pretty. And these gems are gorgeous. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for those of you that joined me live. Oh, thank you, Shaz. Oh, it's a Catholic wedding at the cathedral. That's right. I did see it. Did you show the cathedral? I think you did. Of course, I remember thinking, wow, that's amazing. I'm glad you had a beautiful day. I'm so glad. So thank you for those that joined me live today. I really appreciate it. It really helps me so much. And thanks for all your comments. If you've enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. If you're watching from the future, please let me know if you've enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe because it helps me lots. It means that you'll get notified. If you click the little bell, you'll get notified of any future uploads, so you won't miss anything, and really helps me too. So thank you. If you like any of the goodies that I use to create with, they're all by Stampin' Up and are available in my online shop, which is in the description box, as is my website. So you'll find loads and loads of inspiration over there on my blog. And yeah, until next time, happy crafting. Here's my question this week. Have you made any Christmas cards yet? I would love to know. All right then. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, Shaz. Take care. Ah, thank you. Bye-bye.